Hello everybody and welcome back. In the previous video we had implemented our database service that getUser function, and now we have the ability to actually get the user from our database for a provided user ID. In our auth status function, every time the auth status changes and we're actually logged in, what we do is that we update the user's last seen time and then we get the user. But right now we're getting the user, but we're not doing anything with the data that we get. So in this video, we're actually going to be adding the logic to actually take the data that's obtained from the getUser function, which in this case is a document snapshot, once the future resolves, obviously, and then from there, move to an appropriate page inside of our application, because we know that we have the data now that we require for our user, and we can move on to another page besides our login application. So with that said, let's get into it and let's see how we can do this. So what I'm going to be doing is that to our getUser function, I'm going to be attaching a then clause. And inside of then, what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be saying that I'm going to be getting a snapshot. And then for that snapshot, I am going to be performing a function. I'm going to add a semicolon at the end. And then inside of here, we can start defining our function. And don't forget to add a comma here just for formatting purposes. For the snapshot, the first thing that I'm going to do is that I am going to create a variable of type map string, comma, dynamic. And what this variable is going to do is that it's going to store the information that is retrieved from the Firestore database in the form of a map. And I'm going to take the snapshot and I'm going to call the data function on it. And then I'm going to cast this data function as a map string, comma, dynamic. And this will allow us to actually save the map into the user data variable. Now that we have access to the user's data, what we can do is that we can create another variable, and that variable is going to be in the top of our authentication provider. It's going to be a property for our class, and it'll be called late chat user, and then I'm going to call it user, and then I'm going to come down to where we had gotten access to our user data, and then I'm going to say that our user is going to be equal to chat user. So I have to firstly import my models. I'm going to go to the top after our services. I'm going to do / models and then import / models and then chat user. And then I'm going to say that it's going to be chat user dot the factory method that we had created from JSON. And then inside of here, I'm going to pass the JSON. And the JSON is going to be this. I'm going to add some curly brackets, and inside of here, I'll pass the JSON. So for the UID, that's expected if we click on the function here by doing command and then hovering over it, you can see that we have to provide a UID, a name, an email, an image, and a last active for the keys inside of this map document. So for the UID, we can give the user.uid. For the name, we can access it from the user data that we had just retrieved. And then from there, we can take the name key. Following that, we can have email, and that is going to be underscore user data, and then the email key. So these correspond to the field names that we have inside of Firebase, as you can see here, email, last active, image, and name. So then moving forwards with that, we'll also have our last active, so last underscore active, and that is going to be equals to or underscore user data, and then last active. And then with this, we'll have our final one, which is going to be the image, and the image is going to be equal to user data, and then the image. And then with this, what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be adding comma at the end, a comma here as well, Alt-Shift-F, command save. And then what I'm going to do is that once we've kind of created the user from our JSON document that's being passed in here, once that process is done, what I'm going to do is that I am going to print the user variable to our console. So with this, I'm going to do command save. I'm going to restart our application. And hopefully we should see that Flutter gives us instance of chat user. And if I do user.toMap, the handy function that we have implemented inside of our class, and then restart our application, hopefully we should see some information here that says email is this, name is this, last active was at this time, the image is this. So now we have all of the information for our user handily presented to us. So now that this is done, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to end this video here, and I'll see you guys in the next video where we're going to be creating our home page and then adding some of the logic to actually move from a login page to our home page once we're done with having the login process completed. So with that, thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks again.